everybody. I'm Nate WestBell. We're coming at you with the 5th annual winter warm-up. I got Dan Harvey, we call him Silky D, talking with me today.
Yo, Nate, this is Dan Harvey, your voice, Silky D, and we are ready for some disc golf action in 2021. We're all ready for the tournaments, all the good times, put 2004 behind us, and get things rolling.
Nice.
Let's get this groupie.
There's me and my beautiful wife, getting things going, taking some pictures of the card before they take off. We really lucked out with the weather this year. It was really nice, and it was a great event.
Yeah, great first hole as well. You can see how beautiful the day was. The beautiful Olympic mountains in the background. A great first hole, if you ask me. It's a good one to warm up on. Easy, 220-foot downhill par 3, and you'll see a lot of different types of throws on this hole. Big high, big forehandizers, overhands. I personally throw the old flex backhand. We'll see what the boys have for us.
Yeah, the simple putter shot down the middle on an easy day like this seems easy, but I would be going what Michael Lambert just threw there, which looked like the perfect shot to me. Nick Shuler as well. That's the most consistent, because most of the times when you play this hole, it's going to be a headwind. Not always, but if it's going to be a wind, it's going to be a headwind. And that spike hyzer, whether it's forehand or backhand, seems to be the play. I see a lot of people do this thumber, tomahawk. I just don't see the consistency in it because it can be so easily affected, and the fairway is so, it's the ground play. They land on right next to the basket, but they roll away.
Yeah, I do throw a lot of thumbers on this course, but not on a hole.
So Nick's about to, bam, right there in the heart. What a great putt. Nick Shuler, one of my favorite local pros. Chris Holden. Bam. Right off the bat.
Yeah, great putt, especially with the footing there. Kind of a tough spot with the downhill.
Absolutely. Kenny. Oh yeah, another Terrace Creeker right there, just laying it down on the first hole.
Spinning to win it in his Rick and Morty hoodie. I love it.
Got Michael Lambert right there.
Starting out with a star frame, huh?
Yeah, beautiful. Making that hole look really easy, because I'll tell you, it's not always that easy.
Especially lead card final round, you're looking at it, and it looks really easy.
So there's the Mando tree they just zoomed in on. So this hole here is kind of like a horseshoe, and then some, almost like the J, and you're the bottom of the J. And you got to go around it, is the way they're designed to go all the way back up this road, but you can cut a big chunk of that off by going over the top right next to this Mando tree to make it so you're not just throwing backwards off the tee pad.
Yeah, Michael choosing a popular option here. Giant Annie over there. If you poke through, you're looking right at it for two. I mean, it's obviously a longer shot, but I mean, you hit that fairway, it's right. This is when I break out my first stubborn round.
That looks like a good shot by Chris. Might have gone too far over, but I can't quite tell.
This was the first hole we needed a spotter on. Shout out to Carl for spotting for the whole weekend. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. He was a big help for the weekend. He not only came and spotted, but he drove the other spotters there each day. So
He brought snack.
Good shot.
A really good pitch out for Nick there. Put him right in the middle for his easy par.
Good little roll at the end too.
Yeah, you get off the fairway here and it gets difficult quick. Hole 4 is hole 2 is a definite par 4 that is not to be taken lightly.
Yeah, I was just about to mention you get the fairway here, and it's smart just to chip back out.
Yeah, just like Nick did there, and he pitched it right up like he should. A good shot there by Michael.
Good bid, Mike.
Yeah.
Great shot, Kenny.
Yeah, he was lining that up like he wanted it. I want to mention that, you know, due to COVID, this event was done in tee times as opposed to our normal shotgun start, which I really liked. You know, I missed the whole camaraderie, but I really enjoyed the tee time.
It was nice. It was a lot more work because you had to be there the whole time sending groups off instead of just the shotgun start where it's a lot of pressure. Everyone's out, you get to relax, and then everyone comes in. There we go, Nick. Great putt.
Sometimes you just gotta eat it.
Straight 3, dude.
That's a great.
That was a really good drive.
Yeah. It helps if you can jump putt it there.
Yeah, it was kind of nice for everyone ready to watch the lead card go out. It was a lot of fun.
It was. I enjoyed. I've never done it before as a tournament director, so it was new for me, and I enjoyed it. And
Yeah, you guys did a great job.
yeah, my wife is awesome. She takes care of everything, so I just sit there and get the praises.
Yeah,
Here's
looks like
Michael.
Michael's taking the lead here.
Yeah, hole 3. This is pretty much you got to get this birdie, in my opinion. It's a very simple shot, and you know, it's one of those ones you got to get. Especially because you're not always going to get hole 2. There's so much up to chance when you throw over the top there. You just kind of, you got to bank on hole 3, and you got to know that you got this shot.
I mean, it's only a 203-foot shot uphill.
I tried.
Pretty simple for these guys. Ooh, another overhand looks like. Tommy?
Yes. Go in it.
It's amazing how great that shot works here in these woods. This hole and the
Just fall right in.
this one and the next hole, they 3 and 4 are both really good for that shot. Oh, almost gets it.
Yeah, you know, if you're going to miss the direction on this hole, you're going to want to miss right more than left. You go left, and it's typical rain shadow.
Great putt right there. Kenny Clark.
Michael lining up his birdie. Keep the lead.
Thank you. Good start.
Great putt.
Did he keep the lead or did he take the lead right there?
I think he kept the lead there. I think he still had a stroke.
Oh.
Kenny.
I got you, yeah. Nice. And Chris Holden showing how effective that overhand shot is on that fairway.
Have to try that out.
Yeah. Let's do super to your right target. So it's like,
Why am I like,
you're gonna jump that high.
well, like, get out of here.
Yeah, this next hole as well, you would think even it being as short as it is that it would be the gimme birdie, like the must get. And you want this one, but you can't count on getting this one every time. Unless you have that overhand dialed, like you just saw Chris Holden do on the last hole. That's about the closest to a guarantee on this hole you can get. Looks like Kenny Clark's gonna do it as well. Oh.
Yeah, a little low. Yeah, boy, off this tee box, you look at it, it's right there, but there's not a whole lot of lines there.
No, there's not. And it's really about throwing this lazy, just like he did right there. He's probably right underneath the basket. And that's honestly how you do it. It's look at how all of them are doing it.
It is a lazy shot.
Jump in.
Don't, yeah, as soon as you start trying, you're messing it up. You don't want to try. It's 183 feet. You're and it's slightly downhill at that. It's about throwing this perfect lazy tomahawk that just wants to pan out and hopefully bounces into the basket. I feel like the left side of this fairway can get pretty dangerous. The right side's pretty open. It's just, you know, it's decision making. And also maybe just knowing the course a little bit. Got Chris Holden. What do you think that is? Like 50 feet?
Yeah, I think that's.
Good bit, dude.
Yeah, just a little left. That downhill, you can't tell that much in the footage, but that's why those putts you would think would be easier, but since it's downhill, you actually have to really commit and go through it, not to it. Kenny tapping in for par. Like I said, it's one you really want to get every time, but you're not going to get it every time. It's just, oh, that's very uncharacteristic for Nick Shuler. He puts in a lot of time and a lot of work on his putting in his game. I think that's just maybe just a little bit of frustration and just forgetting how you have to take each shot and put something into each shot. Yeah, some people don't like the fact that I've always called this a par 3, but when you're throwing a putter or a mid-range, and I mean, honestly, even throwing a fairway driver or whatever you want to throw down there, you can throw anything down there. But in my mind, if you can throw a putter down there, it can't be a par 4. Yeah, let me say that. If I can throw a putter down there, it can't be a par 4. Period. Period.
Starting to think about doing a tomahawk.
That looks like a great shot there by Michael Lambert.
5-4 it one more time, I'm gonna start flipping it.
Oh, it was worse than yesterday. Not good.
So once again, this is where I still look at it as, you see how narrow the fairway is. You get off in the rough, it's rough. And I'm sure you're going to see some fours. But if you play it as a four, you could throw it 100 feet off the tee.
Looking promising from the angle.
Or I mean as a three, sorry. You can throw it 100 feet off the tee and then pitch it straight down the hill and tap in for a three. It's people trying too hard and they're getting into trouble.
Hit left.
Look at how easy that was.
Thank you.
Perfect. You go down there, you tap it in. It's an easy three.
Way to go, Captain.
It's a tough three, but it's an easy three. If you were calling threes a birdie, it'd be just birdies all day.
All right, Michael with his upshot. Choosing a forehand, probably gonna go. Oh, he's gonna poke a pray.
Settle. Settle.
And his prayers are answered. Made it through. That's a tough line through there. There is some, but it's very thin, as you can see from here. Kenny with a great upshot.
I want to just take my medicine, but I almost don't know if, like...
Yeah, and see that it doesn't look like much of a drop behind this basket, but it can get away from you very easily. That was a very smart play there by Chris Holden.
I'm not sure if there were any twos on the weekend. TD, can you verify that?
Can't at the moment. That was a great putt there, and much needed too. Making that three. It's a well-earned par. You know, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go ahead and say that somebody had to do this thing, and I would want to say it was probably two'd more than once this weekend, but I'd have to go and check that out again.
Yeah, I've come close a couple times, but never actually cashed in the two. Three's a plenty, but never a two. Us MA2 kids have a hard time getting down there.
Well, you go play some courses. Oh, Kenny, that's an unfortunate and uncharacteristic miss, I'd say, for Kenny. He's a very solid putter. Right. So yeah, I mean, there were some fours, and you know, it is what it is. The course par, I guess you'd say, is a 58 on this course. So that hole and hole 7 are both par 4s. But personally, I feel hole 6, this hole right here, is tougher than hole 7. It's 216 feet, and it's uphill, like extremely uphill. And look,
Yeah,
Kenny
this
Clark lining up this sidearm. I heard about this shot. Oh my goodness. And
I actually watched this.
I don't know if you guys realize how insanely difficult that was, what he just did.
You don't know how insanely difficult that was.
Typically, that's what you're going to see right there. And that was a great throw. I mean, that was wonderful.
I would take that 7 out of 7.
Yeah, that's what you're going to see most players doing, is actually taking something pretty overstable and flexing it over instead of, you know, someone maybe with less power like myself that's going to take something flippier and throw it uphill and let it flip over.
Yeah, I usually throw Valk a little bit, Annie, basically as hard as I can. I make about 3/4 of the way up.
Oh, no, he wanted that one. Getting a birdie on this hole is, in my opinion, a stroke on the field.
100%. Because he knows that that's a stroke on the field.
Got Kenny. Oh. Once again, like I said, 216 feet, but this thing is so extremely uphill. It is very difficult to get up there. And even when you do get up there, you're still putting extremely uphill. So it's not this putt that you are taking every day, unless you play this course every day, that is.
It's like a par frame from the lead card here. Heading to the top of the world.
And par on that hole is pretty much what you expect. You know, a good shot or a bad shot, for how difficult it is, unless you get some nasty roll away, which definitely happens off hitting the cage. Here we go. So it looks like...
That's good. Come on. Come on. Fade. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's beautiful.
Good shot, Mike. Up, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Henson. So we have the card ahead of him, so probably a little bit of a backup. And so at this tournament, we only have the lead card, or the open players, excuse me, play from the top. Everyone else plays from the bottom, and that's because of the backup that's created just off even our more elite players.
Yeah, an inherent shot off this tee pad. You're looking for a while if you don't have a spotter.
Well, and we had a spotter there both days. Oh wow, look at that lefty. Didn't quite get over it enough.
Ben and Stu. Ben was the first day. He was there.
Yep. And both of which Carl drove, the other spotter for hole 2, Carl had drove both those guys each day, and which was just awesome. Look at that. That's a power shot right there. That's what you want to see.
It's a little short. Yeah.
That made me feel good inside.
See you guys.
So I'm sure there was a little bit of a wait for all of them up there waiting for those guys to clear out. So now they got their turn, and they got a little bit of a wind read on it all.
See what our tournament leaders got. You know, funny, not funny, but story about Michael. I played with him in his first tournament as a PDGA member. I want to say back in 2017 it was, on an MA2 card, and just to see the level of talent that he's, you know, exceeded to is insane in just a couple of years.
Yeah, he's a solid player. He's from this local area here. Kenny Clark. Lining up that hyzer strong. The way to error on this hole is exactly, I'm not saying that his shot was an error, but if you're gonna miss and not be parked, you want to be left. Going right is very difficult to have an easy secured 3. If you throw a hyzer hard and it flips up straight and finishes left, as long as that disc is finishing left, you're in business. You don't want anything that you're just trusting on the chance that you threw it with enough hyzer.
Yeah, that looks kind of scary right there.
Ooh. I like it. Right there at the top of the hill. A little bit longer of a putt than you want, but not a bad shot by any means. You get to give it a little bit of a downhill run. Nick knows this shot well. He's probably throwing his T-bird 3. Just looks like he needed it down a little bit. He probably just gonna come up a little bit short. But it's hard to say. He throws it so far. He could be long.
Man, you can get a look at that ravine left and right is trouble.
Yeah, this is that downhill putt I was talking about. Chris Holden. Looks like he wasn't messing around. He said, put it under the basket and move on.
I had that exact same putt in my second round. I ended up 3-putting and taking a 5, which is awesome.
So this is the other hole that they're calling a par 4, just so everybody else out there understands. When my par from the course par that's, you know, posted at the course as a 58 and I call it a 56, this is the other one. And now I understand that we haven't seen anybody sink their 2 yet, but let's wait. Okay. Still, however, every single one of them was putting at a 2.
Tap real quick.
Yeah, guys.
So, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say that nobody that would go and play this course would disagree with me if they
I don't
played.
mind this as a pipe at all.
Because it shouldn't just be a gimme. You know, you got to work for it a little bit. You got to want it.
No, if I can get there, I mean, come on.
And that's the same thing with hole 5. That's the point. Hole 2, you go and tell me that hole 2 is an easy 3. We got something to talk about.
Hole 8. 218, but uphill again. I don't think the video shows how uphill it is when you're on the tee pad.
This one was the most dangerous hole on the course, and it's because of the very slick fairway, which is not only very narrow and then tapers downhill on both sides into the heavily wooded area, but this ground here was actually all old. What was it? It was like runoff from the spit, where they would just like drag all the old like grime off of the ground basically, and they just dump it here, and that's what made this whole mound.
Grimy around here. Another hole I tend to throw a thumber on. See a couple of overhands there.
Yeah, I've seen Nick throw an overhand on this before too. A little unfortunate. See how steep it gets quick here.
Great job by fairway showing us how bad it is off the fairway. Ooh. Is he at a
Oh
low
no.
overhand? Oh,
That needs to stop, and it didn't. How treacherous. This is one of those holes I would like to say, I'd almost dare I say, used to call a gimme birdie, and I would never call that anymore. It's just bitten me so many times. It's so treacherous. Oh. Gave it the best bit he could without going over the other end.
Yeah, every time I step to this tee pad, I feel like I'm gonna grab a birdie, but
But I'd say probably 8 out of 10 times you're not.
yeah, concurred.
And that's a great one right there by Chris. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say, and stroke on the field, I bet you not that many people were getting that birdie today. Like I said, that was a very treacherous fairway, so your footing was very poor for most putts, so you weren't really able to fully commit on your putt. So even if you were in striking distance, you didn't actually get the attempt you wanted at it. So
Yeah, I had a guy on my card. He landed about 45 short, dead center fairway. Couldn't address his disc because he was sliding backwards.
I believe it. I told that was my repetitive thing. Every single card that went out, I had to tell them how dangerous this hole was. And look at Michael Lambert, 2 birdies. Those are really good birdies. And then, like I said, 218 feet, but it's uphill with, I mean, what is that? All of 20 feet maybe wide?
Maybe.
So, I mean, there's not much to land on. And if you're not landing on that, you are out of position.
Hole 9, easy one. This is one you're really expecting to get.
I would say absolutely. If you miss this one, you're losing a stroke to the field for sure.
It was aced at league last.
Nice. Yeah, I've gotten this one twice myself. We usually start on hole 10, so we finish on hole 9, which is nice. So it makes it like a walk-off ace. Nick, see, this is the popular play in my opinion. It's just this forehand right here. You just pitch it right up over that short tree, and you come up. And I'd like to give a thanks to Rick Burns out there. He trimmed up the bottom of these trees for me because I didn't like the fact they were stopping bad shots and then letting good shots that did sneak by not have a putt. And he went out there and trimmed all of those up for me. He did a lot more than just that. I mean, the whole course looked amazing. The county, yeah, but the county came out and did a lot of, did what they could out there. But Rick Burns really was out there putting in the work all the way till the morning of the event. He was out there blowing off all of the tee pads for everybody to have fresh tee pads all blown off. I mean, he did an amazing job and does a ton of work out on Rain Shadow. There we go, great birdie. But like I said, much expected as well. You definitely want to get this one and expect this one. Not just want it, but expect it.
As much start frame in hole 9.
Well, that was our front 9. We'll be back for the back 9. Stay tuned.
Got a lead. I hear it gets a little spicy on the back side. See you there.